This is a guest essay written by Daniel Clark Surrett, author of Exodus, The Quest for Freedom.
The world is taking a fucking piss. 2,000 years of constant persecution, expulsions, blood libels, pogroms, forced expulsions, and actual genocide. Egyptians, Babylonians, Romans, Christians, Muslims, atheist academics. There isn't a single group for whom anti-Jewish hate is unacceptable. Holocaust. The world was sympathetic. Not a single country took us in. Not a single country wanted us. Languishing in refugee camps to rot Heil Nazis were taken in by the West, their crimes forgotten. The good old US of A. No more dirty Jews for us. Britannia? No alien immigration wanted old chap. And as for those lovely Arabs, they sided with the Nazis, and they wanted to finish the genocide. The Arabs of the Middle East are more than happy to immigrate to Britain, to the US, and to France. After all, there are not enough failed Muslim countries in the world. But they couldn't share a tiny strip of land with my homeless people? It was extermination or nothing. They destroyed our ancient communities in Yemen. They threw us out from Egypt. They ended thousands of years of Jewish history in our Iraqi heartland. There is barely a Jew left in the Arab world. We are nearly extinct in our indigenous region. Only Israel remains, and they want us gone. We have tried to appease them for 100 bloody years. Transjordanian Palestine given free of charge. Partition plan after partition plan, rejection. Peel Commission 1937. Number United Nations 1947. Number. We even tried to hand the West Bank back to Jordan after Israel captured it during the 1967 Six-Day War. But the response was the same. No, number 3. Times the hateful bell of 9 rang from Khartoum. Khartoum, yes, you heard right. The capital of Sudan. The capital of murder, genocide, and ethnic cleansing in 2024. But does the International Criminal Court care? The International Court of Justice? The disgusting United Nations? The sainted South Africans? Of course not. They couldn't care less about any war, unless it is one launched on the Jews. Yet, I digress. In the 1990s and 2000s, we tried one last throw of the dice. We offered everything they could have wanted, bar our own extermination. And how did those innocent Palestinians react? With rejection, with a fat, stinking nope. And worse, they started a campaign of terrorist murder as a thank you gift. Yasser Arafat, you really were the criminal of the century. But did the lovely world take our side? Did they castigate the innocent Palestinians for launching a reign of terror? Did they place the blame firmly with the Arabs for starting the war and murdering us on our streets? What do you think? The West placed all the blame on Jewish shoulders. The Palestinians were innocent for violent rejectionism. They were innocent for murder on our buses. They were innocent for murder in our wedding halls. They were innocent for murdering peace. Just offer them a state, the West counseled. We just did, you fucking morons. And this was their response. Now, here we are in 2024. We have had 2 decades now of the Palestinian Authority denying Jewish history and telling unfounded lie after unfounded lie in international institutions. The Jews are Europeans. They deceive. The Palestinians are Canaanites and Philistines. They continue. We suffered 50 Holocausts, excretes serial liar and Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas. Well, who knows? Perhaps the Palestinians are Philistines. They act totally uncivilized. Perhaps they are Canaanites. They murder babies for their God. But the West was not finished yet. What was their response to October 7th? To murder, rape, and beheadings. To babies cooked in ovens, torn off breasts, and music lovers massacred. To hostages living in hell. To place the blame fully on Israel as per fucking usual, to remove any hint of agency, responsibility, or adulthood from a Palestinian nation that has cried wolf once too often. After 2 days of solidarity with the Jewish state, the liberal West, which cancels freedom and allows its enemy to preach from university lecterns, which would not melt a snowflake, and would rather destroy Christianity than stop weekly hate marches, played its usual two-faced games. The media and academia and even the police have been allowed to transform into Hamas-supporting groupies. The Jews built up these academic institutions. We gave our knowledge and expertise. We are the backbone of the Western liberal intellectual class, just as we were in Germany before World War II. And this is how you repay us. Again, the West has lost its backbone. Israel must stop the fighting. Israel is committing war crimes. Israel is murdering babies. Israel is committing genocide. Blood libel and slander, lie after fucking lie. The United Nations that was founded in the aftermath of the Holocaust, the International Court of Justice that was formed likewise, the International Criminal Court that was emerged in its memory, an international human rights law forged in the fires of Nuremberg and through the trial of Adolf Eichmann. All these tools, developed by Jews and their supporters to make the world a better place, are now being used against us. Mercilessly. Sudan, Xinjiang, Burma, Eritrea, Syria. Who cares? All international human rights experts are interested in is continuing the genocide of the Jewish people. Oh, just offer them a state, counsels Jew expelling Spain. That will satisfy them, agrees bastion of liberal values, except in the Palestinian territories, Norway. Freedom for Palestine, adds terrorist-producing Ireland. Is that an Irish joke? I thought they were outlawed, along with murdering Jews. The Jewish people cannot trust anyone. Not the law, not academia, not the United Nations of evil, and not the human rights elite. And as for America, it is possibly the most unreliable ally one could hope for. If the Americans had dealt with the Arab revolt of the 1930s instead of the British, they would probably have given up after 2 weeks because of protests in Michigan. Meanwhile, the mainstream media will listen to any made-up death figure from Hamas. They will agree unquestioningly with how Hamas describes any incident. Israel targeted a hospital. Israel carpet-bombed civilians. They are entitled to their luxury self-mendacity. They don't have to die with the consequences. And how they cower behind half-line retractions when the facts finally come to light. They spread Hamas lies, and we are ones who suffer. And governments don't make me laugh. They pander to Muslim voters and invite asylum seekers from Gaza to Birmingham, just to give them more people to pander to in future. What they don't do is remove the hate marches from their streets, or make them safer for a Jew with a kippah. We now have 5 years of Keir Starmer telling Muslim voters that he is trying to stop a non-existent genocide and doing all in his power to create a Palestinian terror state just kilometers from Tel Aviv. I repeat, the Palestinians have been offered state after state after state after state. Is there something about being on the progressive left which doesn't make people understand the blindingly obvious? And when there is a ceasefire and Hamas continues to fire rockets into Tel Aviv, what are you going to do? Tell Israel to reply proportionately while Israeli children have no security in their homes at night. Do you care about the Israelis displaced from our country's north and south? Don't you know how tiny Israel is and that there is nowhere to evacuate? Zionism promised us safety in Israel, but there isn't even safety there. The only world that will be safe for Jews is one where you stop hating us and stop funding those who hate us. The only world that will be safe for Jews is one where you seek justice and true human rights. A world without the evil of Libya and Russia and Eritrea and Syria. And do you have anything to say about how the Palestinians rained havoc in Jordan and destroyed Lebanon? Do you want that on the doorstep of Israel? The people of Israel don't want it. We all want peace and seek peace and have yearned for peace. We all want Israel to be recognized as a beloved member of the free world with a top-class justice system to boot. But when the world constantly stands in opposition to Israel and lets the Palestinians get away with century-long murder, when every peace effort is thrown in our faces and we are the ones to blame, when every Israeli prime minister is criticized, be they left or right, then this is what you are going to get. When Jews have no hope for safety in this world, but for the coming of the Messiah, then you will get a government with desperate messianics. So, free worlders, what are you going to do? Are you finally going to force the Palestinians to wear the consequences of their actions, or are you going to continue your appeasement to genocidaires? The West supports evil, and it will get evil when the Middle East comes to Europe, North and South America, Africa, Australia, and so forth. You have been warned, and once again, you do not give a fuck.